Your very first card says, you found it. You found it. What did you find? I think Jim and I also found something. What did you find, Sagittarius? And the very next card that comes up is from Saint Germain saying, work your magic. So now work it. That's what they're saying. It was so funny. He came in, he's just like, okay, work that magic that you know who you are. Work that magic that of your ability to turn lead into gold, to turn challenges into experiences that benefit you and everyone else. Work your magic, turning lead into gold, turning challenges into miracles. It looks like the challenges are involving, for some of you, if this resonates, your family and relationship. Family and relationships. So in this reading, this is regarding children. So there may be some children in your family. There may be some children at work, but this very much feels like family kind of thing, like your family. Your parents, and also you as a parent, children. It could be you as a child to your parents, also your children. And then this soulmate relationship is coming up. So it feels, this having the double meaning of you feeling like a child sometimes in these relationship struggles. Maybe pushing some buttons regarding your childhood and whatever the struggle might be going on. And you're getting the twin flame. So it feels like a pretty intense relationship. Whether it is your twin flame or it feels like it to you, it feels really intense in a relationship. And twin flame relationships, if it is a twin flame relationship, on a soul level, they can be challenging from what I've read and what I sort of intuit. These twin flame relationships can be really challenging. So it looks like that's what's going on. And you guys are so loving and powerful and really want things to go well. It's like you work hard at the relationship is what it feels like. It feels like you're working really hard at it. And it's a bit confusing why these struggles are coming up for you. That's the energy that feels like for you guys. Like it's confusing. Why these struggles? This doesn't have to be so hard. That's what it feels like. And so they're asking you in these next set of cards, they're asking you to look at the area where you can sort of control things, where you have some control over this, is regarding your actions, your decisions, what's driving you, your buttons that might be getting pushed with this. The very next card is from the Warrior Woman. This very much feels like you guys. And the question, whether you're male or female, and the question this card is asking is, if you weren't afraid, what would you do? If you weren't afraid, what would you do? And then say yes to that, whatever that is. If you weren't afraid. And sometimes I can feel you guys going, afraid? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anything. This fear is coming from a childhood, feels like it's coming from a childhood wound. And it does feel like it is fear that's really deep-rooted. He wants to come back to say, work your magic in terms of sort of being able to heal this, right? Being able to find the root of this and heal this. He's asking you to work your magic. You know how to do this, Sagittarius. If you weren't afraid, what would you do? And say yes to that. So kind of holding that thought about saying yes to it might take a little bit, to find it, find what is this thing that's making me afraid, because Archangel Michael is saying you are safe. And for him to come in and say that is speaking to sort of the child in you that is fearful about something. Fearful about something. He's saying, no, you're safe, emotionally safe. So to emotionally safe, to just go in and see if you can find what that is. So the next card that you get is to retreat. It's to retreat, to go within. He wants to come back. Work your magic. You know how to do this. It's what they keep saying. You know how to do this. And it doesn't have to be a great big ordeal of a thing. It's, this can happen, very quickly in a day, kind of thing. Retreat meaning not necessarily just leave the relationship, but just retreat, like going into meditation could be a retreat. Going for a walk around the neighborhood could be a retreat. It doesn't feel drastic, but they are inviting you to sort of find a place where you can just be by yourself. Just be by yourself and sort of contemplate this and look at this. And when you are in this sort of sacred space for yourself to find this thing that might be creating some fear, Spirit's working with you. So as you go into this quiet, sacred space, notice the sensations in your body. Your clairsentience, your empathness, your heightened sense of things, your heightened sense of feeling in your body. So you go into the sacred space and say, okay, what is it? Where is it? What is it that might be causing some fear? And they're inviting you to just be open to the idea that something might be causing some safety where you don't feel safe. And it's affecting the actions that you take. It's also very much affecting what you say. It feels more like it's affecting what you say in this relationship, in these challenges that might be going on. It feels like it's very much affecting your state, and then what you say from that state. And what they're asking you to do is go in and address the state of it. So you may be saying all the right things, but it's coming from a place of fear, and that is being felt by the other, and that's what they want you to address. That's what they want you to address. So listen to Spirit, listen to your own body, your clairsentience. And they're also saying that one Spirit will be communicating to you through your hand. They're showing me this really fast writing to get the intellect out of the way, not think about what you're writing, just writing. The intellect can try to, sort of analyze and make excuses and get around it. You want to get around your intellect. So they're showing me this hand, like writing really, really fast. Don't think about what you're writing, just write. And Spirit is saying that they're going to help. They're going to come through your hand. So when you do this sort of freehand writing, just write, and read it later. Spirit's going to be speaking to you through your hand. So is your higher self. So is your inner child. So this writing is going to be really important. This freehand writing is going to be important. You're going to be hearing through this, your inner child that's wounded, Spirit, and also your higher self giving you guidance. Part of that guidance is going to include setting some boundaries. It's going to help you set some boundaries. It's like once you clear that, once you do this process of retreat, listen, feel into it, writing, noticing what you write, once you get to the root of this, setting your boundaries is going to be a whole lot easier. And they're not physical boundaries. It's more like they're emotional boundaries. It's communication again. They're saying, I see you talking. You're talking with this person. You're talking with this person. And it's more like, you know what, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore, whatever it is. Setting your boundaries, figuring out during this retreat, figuring out where your edge is. What are you moving forward? What are you going to allow and not allow into your space anymore? And they're asking you to practice that. She's coming up right next to setting your boundaries. Practice setting your boundaries. Practice, and you can continue to write about it too. You can write this down. So now this is coming up with another meaning. At this point, it's not freehand, it's deliberate. It's you deliberately writing down where you're going to shift as far as giving. It feels like you've really just been giving, trying to help the other understand something that they're just not understanding. And it's not up to them to understand. It's for you to understand. It's for you to understand you. That's what that is. These twin flame relationships are really intense. They help you go really deep to heal each other. And by setting boundaries, you're helping the other as well, right? It's a mutual, it's a twin flame, so you help each other. They're helping you to find where your boundaries are going to be and then practice them. Write them down, what they're going to be moving forward, and then practice communicating from a different state on the inside. Practice communicating from this new state, having found the root of something from your childhood, from past lives, your inner child, now being heard and integrated, and there's a new level to you. There's a new level of you now going forward. So practice setting these boundaries from this new state, and you will be triumphant, and miracles will happen. Your final cards. Miracles and triumph. And this is coming up underneath this. So for some of you, it really feels like there's been some struggles happening here, and it comes down to you addressing your inner child, which is really the only thing you have control over, is yourself and your own inner wisdom, your inner child, healing your triggers, what's pushing your buttons, that sort of thing. Going within and finding that, knowing Spirit is with you, totally with you. Do this, you guys. This is going to be big. The freehand part is going to be big. The deliberate part as well, but that freehand part, that's really going to show you where your little one inside has been affecting your state in the past. Once you find that, you're going to be a lot more clear about what your boundaries are, and then practice. Triumph and miracles. I love it. Triumph and miracles. Now he wants to come back. Work your magic. You found it. You found it. You found your magic, and now he's also wanting to come back to say you will find this part of you that's, where that's been causing the challenges in their relationship. You will find it, is what he's saying. You will find the root cause of any fear that might be causing your inner state, to be the little one inside you that's kind of comes out. You will find that and integrate that. That's what he's saying. Work that magic. Sagittarius, work your magic. You got triumph and miracles at the end. I love it. Fantastic. Fantastic. So there's challenges, but you know what to do, and it's going to work out, and then there'll be miracles. So, retreat and freehand writing, and say yes to the thing that, now that you're no longer afraid. What would you like to do now? See, and this is coming up underneath, setting your boundaries. What would you like to do now that you found your power, your warrior woman self? Set your boundaries. It's about taking your power back. in integrating that little one that's fearful. And then say yes to it. And then practice. Practice your boundaries. Triumph in miracles.